Would that be the voice of dissent that we hear, Governor? This is what happens when you rule from your high and mighty ivory tower at the Blaine House and try to force your shenanigans down the throats of the peasants that reside in your state. It's a beautiful day in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border. We're having a lot of humidity today. Can't even talk. Haven't had enough coffee. Curly girly hair problems today, so we're just going to have to put up with whatever this is in the crown of Maine. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day wherever you might be. I hope you're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee, because we all need lots and lots of dang good coffee to get through whatever is going on in the world. We are about to be reading an epic saga called War and Peace. I'm not buying it, just so that we know, and I'll address that at the end of this episode. But first, let's get to the shenanigans of the Queen herself, Governor Janet Mills, the Queen of the Blaine House. All I can say is, thank the Lord. This is the last few years of this woman's final term as governor of the state of Maine. And she is the perfect example. She's the first woman governor of the state of Maine, and hopefully she's the last. She is a prime example as to why women should not be in politics. Honestly. Overspending and then making it up on the back of the people. Letting boys continue to play in girls' sports. Homelessness problems. Massive drug issues. Drug use deaths. They are way the hell up in the great state of Maine. She is attacking the most vulnerable, the poorest people in our state from her ivory tower, the Blaine House. And she's proud of it. I believe, in my opinion, allegedly, she's a lawyer, you know, so you got to be careful what you say, but I think, I suspect, I surmise that Governor Janet Mills has a thing for Gavin Newsom, because she's always trying to make Maine California, yeah. Whatever gruesome Newsom does in California, she'll go try it here in the state of Maine, and it's absolutely insane. You want to hear another good insane thing that they've done? $177 million tax hike. Yeah, that's someone saying I can't even get it out. $177 million tax hike to the citizens of Maine. Welcome to the way life should be. I do not advise people moving to Maine. I really don't. I never thought I'd say that, but I don't. It's just getting absolutely crazy here. So the tax hike passed, $177 million. The less you make, the more you're going to pay. It's very, very simple. Simple math. Let's pillage from the already working poor. And who are we giving it to? No cause, no person that actually matters. There you have it. There's a deficit. She got to fill it. She got to close it. And it's our problem. They make the rules, they make the regulations, and then it's our problem, the little people's problem, as to how they are going to fund their mistakes. So people are very angry about this $177 million tax increase, because it's absolute insanity. It is really going to affect the low income earners' pocketbook. And most of the lowest income earners are people that work on farms for one more year. People that work on farms, people that are in the service industry. At least in the service industry, you've got some reprieve because President Trump is doing the no tips on taxes up to, I think, $10,000. So you are tax-free up to $10,000, I do believe it is. Maybe it's $5,000. I can't remember. I got a lot of numbers in my head. Anyways, at least there's some reprieve for people who get tips federally. But Janet Mills is going to take it from you. Your hourly wage component, she's going to be taking that. So the tax brackets have lowered. So the less you make, the more you pay. And it's really going to affect our elderly population. And we already know that Maine is the oldest state, age population-wise, in all of New England. And I think in all of the country, we have the most elderly population. So they're going to get a kick in the teeth when this happens on their taxes next year. We've got Janet Mills allowing boys to continue to play on girls' sports teams because Janet Mills doesn't care about domestic violence on the field. That's official domestic violence, and she don't give a shit about that. She does not care if there is a boy playing on a girls' sports team. She does not care if your daughters have to play with or against this very confused individual. She does not care if this confused individual hits your kid in the face, breaks their nose, breaks their jaw, gives them a concussion. It's all good as far as Janet Mills is concerned. So she's allowing that to happen. And I really do wish Donald Trump would step in and just cut the funding. Cut the federal funding to all the schools in the state of Maine that are participating in this bullshit. That is what needs to happen. We have a few towns that have absolutely, a few municipalities have passed ordinances that boys cannot play on girls' sports teams. And kudos to those towns and municipalities that have done that, that have decided that they were going to protect women from domestic violence in the sports arena. Janet Mills doesn't care about the homelessness problem that she has in Maine. Nope, don't care about that at all. In fact, she's allowed migrants. She took from Biden, she took migrants in. I got some room for them. No, we didn't. We didn't have no damn room for them. But she makes sure every single damn migrant and every single damn illegal alien gets a place to live. Whereas if you were born here, you can go live in your car on the street. That's how she feels. And she does nothing to solve the homelessness problem in the great state of Maine, and that $177 million that she's upping our taxes on. That ain't going to cover nothing to do with homelessness. She's trying to ignore the drug deaths in the state of Maine, which have done nothing but increase during her reign as governor. And it's absolutely incredible, the destruction that this woman has brought to our state. She does not care that hospitals are not being paid and are starting to end services. There are certain services you can't get at the hospitals no more. Hospitals are on the verge of closing down in the state of Maine, and nursing homes are closing left and right, including in the county. We had a nursing home closure, and it's absolutely sad. Absolutely sad what is going on in Maine. And the Queen is allowing this to happen. She is just happy. Happy, happy, happy. As she, moves on with her life, leaving us stuck with a huge financial burden. And, she started destroying the little guy here in the state of Maine the minute that 15 days to stop the spread started. And she was really dragging her feet, reopening the state back in that debacle. And it's just been nothing but nonsense from her ever since. So we are happy that you are leaving, Governor Mills, and I, for one, will not be putting in a Democrat into the Blaine House. even though that's the propensity of the citizens of our state. We've had very few Republican governors that have been able to govern the great state of Maine. So hopefully, all that changes, especially when people start realizing how much their taxes are actually going to go up in the coming year. There you have it. As far as things are going globally, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of my world, guys and ghouls, we are reading a chapter from that epic, voluminous novel, War and Peace. War started on Saturday for the United States. War ended. War ended by Monday. The 12-day war, as President Donald Trump is calling it. We now have a loose peace agreement. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I think we had a wag the dog moment. We learned late yesterday, after we bombed Iran. We learned late yesterday, and I had said it earlier, to the king of his castle, the laird of his manor, the man himself, also known as my husband. This is a ruse. This is an organized thing that we're doing with Iran. Kind of like your wag the dog moment. There was an agreement. Did Iran move their uranium? Who knows? Who knows? Do they still have the ability to proceed with their nuclear programs and policies? Who knows? But we had an agreement with Iran that we were going to bomb the nuclear sites. Then we were going to remove personnel out of our base in Qatar. And they were allowed to lob missiles at us, and we would take out most of the missiles, and the one missile that went astray and was going completely into no man's land, we let happen. And they would be able to come out to their citizenry and say, ha, we won against Big Satan. Be happy. And we would be able to say, okay, a peace process would be starting, and that's kind of what happened. And they have it. We had our wag the dog moment. I still think we're in it for regime change. And I think we're in it for regime change because there is a very important Iranian who would become king in our country right now, as we speak. And he is on U.S. soil, and I think regime change is really still on the table. And I'm not sure if the peace is a facade or not. I hope it's not. I pray it's not. But I think there are bigger things going on in the background, which you are, nor I, are privy to. So that's where I think it's just kind of like a moment to breathe during the chaos is what's happening right now. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we have a peace treaty, a peace agreement. I hope it holds. I really do. As far as AOC goes, because people want to know, as far as AOC goes, oh, shut up, woman. Shut the hell up about impeaching Donald Trump. Congress hasn't voted on a war since like World War II. Who are you blithering at? This is absolute noise from the left. And that's all it is. It's absolute noise. So here we're going to ignore AOC and all the nonsense that she is spewing because, well, she says a lot, but she doesn't do a lot, let me tell you. So that's where we stand on my opinions as to what is going on the world stage right now. We're in a lull, and I do hope it lasts, but something tells me that it's not going to. And like I said, we have a very important person in the United States, and I do think behind the scenes that regime change still might be possible. Anyways, be the kindness that you want to see in the world. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful creatures of the world, Carpe Diem. Because no one promised us a tomorrow. Catch you on the next episode.